Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to WCS Challenger Americas. We're going to be moving into the American section of the broadcast. My name is Fear Dragon. I'm joined here by my good friend, Kevin Ran to School. How's it going, dude?
It's going well. I mean, we got the serious StarCraft out of the way. Now it's time for the memes and the clown fiestas. Last week was pretty bad, and I don't mean bad as in bad StarCraft. It was just weird. Like, it was so different, but maybe it was bad in a good way in the end because people definitely enjoyed what they saw. It wasn't always pretty. It wasn't always what we were supposed to see, but we did have a really good time covering the matches. You know, I'm looking at this group, and I think this group is fun. We'll obviously talk about all four players quite a bit throughout this broadcast, but that first match, it's going to be Neeb versus CrucialNug. Now, obviously, once in a blue moon, you're going to have a mismatch, even in Challenger, which is obviously a stacked tournament, and people have to qualify for it. But the rank 1 against the rank 16, there could be a mismatch, and I kind of think that this is one of them. Like, I'd be so damn impressed that if CrucialNug shows up here, and I'm not even saying that he has to take a map, but if he just puts up like one hell of a fight, you know, he makes Neeb work for it, he finds some damage with his drops or whatever, I'd already be blown away, because normally I would be like, there's no way here, right? Like, there should absolutely be no way.
Yeah, I mean, most people already know Neeb, so we're not going to bother doing a long intro on him. But for those who don't know who CrucialNug is, you probably aren't alone. A lot of people actually don't know this guy. And part of the reason for that is that he is not really as well known for his 1v1. He's known more for being a 2v2 player.
And that's not something we normally say.
Exactly. There's like maybe 3 2v2 players that were kind of well known. Like Larry is another one that actually comes to mind. He did pretty well in a lot of the 2v2 tournaments and stuff. But CrucialNug is a Terran player. He's around 5.9k MMR. Supposedly he plays pretty standard. And he actually beat some pretty decent players in the qualifier through the winner's bracket to make it here. He beat M. Canning, and he also beat Semper, who I want to put a little asterisk by Semper because Semper has not been playing a lot of StarCraft. He is actually qualified for Challenger. He's going to be playing tomorrow, but he also just passed the bar exam and is becoming a lawyer. And it turns out when you try and do that, you don't actually have a lot of time to play StarCraft.
Now, the funny thing there is that obviously I think M. Canning's greatest and most famous victory was at one of the Philadelphias where I believe you were casting. And he did manage to beat the opponent of CrucialNug right now, Neeb, in a pretty epic PvP. So by that logic, you know, CrucialNug beats M. Canning, M. Canning beats Neeb. Does that mean that CrucialNug is bigger than Neeb?
Well, hold on.
Or it goes full
Neeb
circle.
is the one who broke Cyril's winning streak. Is CrucialNug the way that we beat Cyril?
Is CrucialNug actually the best player in the world? Maybe the undisputed, unofficial world champion after today. We'll see about it. Now, I guess, who has the title right now, actually?
The unofficial world champion?
Yeah.
We'd have to check the Team Liquid thread. I don't know if it's actually been kept up to date.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody keeps up with it. It's been fun for a while. Like, I know it's been bouncing around a little bit after Cyril lost it because the Koreans, they all lose to each other.
Cyril just held it for like 7 months or something, or 6 months for a while.
I mean, I guess if you never lose, eventually, you'll get that title and then you will collect it. It's a little ongoing joke that started many, many years ago. But let's say Ravi is the world champ, he would lose to me, then I'm the unofficial world champ, and then I lose to CrucialNug, and he's the unofficial world champ.
It's like an actual wrestling belt that you just pass around, basically.
Exactly. Not exactly sure who has the belt right now. We'll figure it out after this match.
Let us know in the chat. We can't read it, but let us know.
It could actually be one of the guys that's deep in the GSL right now. That would make some sense, right?
Yeah, yeah. Because, I mean, I think Cyril, there's a good chance Cyril would have had it at Katowice.
Well,
and then Katowice, Cyril lost to a bunch of the Koreans. So there's a good chance that one of the Koreans has it.
Oh, maybe Inno actually had it, because I think Inno was the first one to beat Cyril. But that was also his last match of the tournament.
Who did Inno lose to in GSL?
In GSL? That's a good question. Probably a Protoss, right? Anyway, let's go ahead and introduce these players in the right bottom side. Well, Thunderbird, we're looking at the main base of CrucialNug. Wasn't it Trap in the quarterfinals?
I don't know.
I think it was 3-2. Good series. Spoiler. It's a couple weeks ago. Don't be angry, guys.
And starting up here at the top left-hand corner of the map, proudly in the color blue of his sponsor, Ting, it is Neeb.
So you're honestly expecting a pretty standard, straightforward game here out of CrucialNug?
Well, it's not that I'm expecting that here, because I think CrucialNug's going to acknowledge that, okay, I'm up against Neeb. Neeb is really good at StarCraft. So I wouldn't be super surprised if he went for something a little bit strange or a little bit more aggro or something like that in this match. But I think some of the other matches, I would actually expect more normal stuff from CrucialNug.
I like that he's SCV scouting, like, you know, he's like, well, I'm going to be fine in this match, okay? As long as I don't get cheesed by this Protoss, it's going to be okay. It's okay for me to take a little bit of an economic deficit. Maybe we're going to get a Hellion drop in this. Well, we don't have a factory yet, but I feel that that SCV on the left side of the map is most likely to build a start. But wow,
oh my
first
God.
blood on the side of CrucialNug. Neeb doesn't have it anymore.
A perfect game so far from CrucialNug. Now we
What if, sorry to interrupt, but what if he gets 4 Hellions? He puts them in the medevac, he flies them in, or actually the medevac, excuse me, the starport is on a weird position, because normally if you would want to go for a Hellion drop, the starport would probably be somewhere at 12 o'clock, right? That would make a lot more sense, but...
He didn't start at the factory though, he's adding barracks on.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he's adding 2 more barracks, so...
Oh my goodness.
Oh, one of the barracks, oh wait, is he gonna get a tech lab there and get up concussive shells?
I think it's a little bit too late. I think you're gearing up. I mean, it's possible. I think all 3 options are possible now.
Yeah.
You can even make a very weird combat shield push where, oh my god, he's making so many
It would take
barracks.
so long to get up combat shields though, right? To do that
but I don't
go for the push?
But I mean, he is expanding, so
Yeah.
obviously you could say the time is sort of on his side. Hey, against a Twilight Council, let's see. I would kind of like to see Stim. I always think that Stim is the best option, but a lot of people disagree with me on that, and that's all good. Let's see
Man,
what
Kevin,
it's going to be.
now I'm starting to see why CrucialNug is gonna be like the serial killer.
What's it going to be?
This guy is sick.
Stim or combat? Stim or combat? Tell us. I really think Stim would... Okay, he's going Stim. I like it.
Yeah.
Hey, this can actually work. Because this is so silly, guys. But I know that the build that Neeb is doing right now, Neeb is going to be very short on units for a while. He's most likely opening up with Blink Stalkers here. And most of the time, you're like, you know, if I have 3-4 Blink Stalkers, I'm fine against everything that Terran can throw at me. That's true, unless you play against 4 barracks Stim. Now, obviously, he's going to get a wall off. He could get maybe a shield battery or 2 as well. And he will get Blink Stalkers. But you know what, Ravi? I'm loving this. I'm loving it.
Shells. All right, so the Hallucinating Phoenix is going to move forward. He's going to see the 3 barracks. He's going to see the lack of factory. And I guess also just kind of like not that many SCVs at the natural just yet, which I guess is not that weird yet. But not seeing a factory at this time is starting to get a little weird, right?
It is, but I think seeing 3 Rex is already a little bit weird, and he probably thinks the fact that I'm playing against CrucialNug in WCS Challenger is already a little bit weird. So, yeah, I don't think that Neeb is reading that much into it. So far, Neeb is not showing us that he's like anything that gives us the idea that he's Okay, that pylon does give us an indication that Neeb is alright. Most likely I'm gonna get attacked here. I'm gonna have to defend, but you know what it is with CrucialNug build? I think he's gonna get so much bio that he literally just stims up and keeps stimming forward. And I don't think you can out-micro those numbers.
Oh my god, he got a second barracks at the proxy and is making Marauders out of both of them.
It's a 5...
This is amazing!
A 5 Rex opening with only a single shield battery. I mean, Neeb is Neeb. He's going up to 3 bases, oh my goodness.
Wait, did he mine out those minerals?
Yeah, with the SCV early on.
Oh, I love it.
He's going up to 3. I don't think that Neeb is respecting this for what it is, man. He's definitely not thinking of a 5 Rex right now, I'll guarantee you that.
He's got 1 sentry on the high ground that has enough energy for maybe 1 force field. Eventually, he might have a second. Blink is about to finish up, so he can at least maybe snipe off 1 or 2 of these units, but he just does not seem to realize how many units there are.
Well, he's going to be able to get the first Marauder, the second Marauder.
Oh no, he blocked away from
Yeah, but it's actually a really good move by Neeb, because he just got 4 Marauders before this even started.
He's going to lose the shield batteries maybe here then, right? Or I guess there's only 1.
Well, yes, let's see what these units can get done, but minus 4 Marauders, that's so painful. And Immortal's about to pop. Unfortunately, he couldn't unpower that Robo, CrucialNug that is. Stalker's still alive, and this just did not work out at all.
Oh, yeah. Well, as all of the Marines get cleaned up, and like you said, so many Marauders dying, the fact that there is now an Immortal here that can ambush any of the Marauders that come from the left-hand side, this is...
It's all about the first attack.
This was an all-in, right? There's no factory, there's no starport, there's no transition, there's not even combat shields here. Neeb is so far ahead at this point.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can only ever transition if, let's say, it becomes a very close fight and Protoss is forced to pull, like, SCVs and you kill 20 SCVs, but none of that happened. GG, Neeb will take a very convincing Game 1 victory. And I feel like we got robbed over here, Ravi. I don't know about you, but I want to see how Neeb would have handled that if, like, the Marines and Marauders...
Yeah.
I don't know why he was setting up for a concave. I guess he was just waiting for Stim. It was finishing up within seconds. But Neeb just, like, kind of sits down and obviously wants to just kite back against the main army and suddenly finds 4 stray Marauders on the left side. He's like, oh, cool, I can just pick these off one by one. Because if those units are together and then he stims forward... I really think it would have been a very difficult hold for Neeb, but yeah, like this, I feel like we got robbed of our potential epicness in game 1.
It's a little bit unfortunate because, yeah, I think that if those 4 Marauders on the left-hand side don't get scouted, obviously you were saying that goes better, but like maybe you're thinking, or he was thinking, oh, well, I don't want to have Neeb start to engage into me or poke away with Blink and Stalkers and stuff and start picking away at my army, but he had concussive shells, so I feel like even without Stim, he would have been able to at least push Neeb back and force him from...
Yeah. I think the main idea there was maybe that he thought there was an observer shocking around, probably already keeping an eye on his army. And he's like, I just want to show the usual size of a 3-Rex army.
Yeah.
And then the extra units, they were like the icing on the cake. It's like, surprise, I've got way more. But yeah, then the Stalkers just found those units. And like I said, it feels kind of like we got robbed of what could have been a very exciting little moment. Because if all those units joined together and then they stim forward up that ramp, that could have been really cool, and it could have been very difficult.
I really like the idea of what he was doing.
You always love it. As soon as something is weird and there's a couple barracks out on the map, you always love it.
This is like prime NA right here, okay? This is what I love. But I will also, just a really quick note, in case anyone was wondering, like, well, maybe there's like some meta between... No, these guys have basically never played. Neeb, I asked him, like, hey, so like, what do you know about CrucialNug? He's like, who's CrucialNug? I'm just like, oh, yeah, okay, well, that answers that.
And like, there's always a couple of underdogs in general who do well in some of the open bracket qualifiers of NA, and sometimes they actually make it into Challenger. But I'm always somewhat familiar with them, right?
Yeah.
Like even the SolidWorks and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, I play those guys all the time. But an actual guy who seems to be playing more 2v2 than 1v1 to then qualify in Challenger. Yeah, like if you ask me, what do I know about CrucialNug? It's like, well, I've tried to look things up, but there simply isn't that much. And maybe we play on the ladder and I'm not familiar with one of his accounts, but yeah.
I think both of his, they're not barcode accounts, because funny enough, I think you and I were talking about this earlier. Oh, yeah, hopping into the game. You and I were talking about this earlier off the broadcast, but there aren't many barcodes on NA. I feel like if he was a barcode, he would be more noticeable, but he has some random other Smurf names, I guess, and one of them is 5.9k, the other one's 5k, but they're probably names you might actually even recognize, but you just don't really associate them with the word CrucialNug.
I mean, a 5.9k, obviously, I think you would. A 5k, no, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because why is a WCS player on a 5K?
I hit 5k players sometime, all right? For context.
Maybe you've got a winning record over CrucialNug.
I have beaten Puck in a best of one where he had a 50% handicap. So, you know.
That's worth bragging about, Robin.
I know, right? No. God, I actually am just remembering now the time that you did a 50% handicap versus me.
I don't remember. Did I win?
Real? You don't remember a game of... Hold on. What's the date and time? June 15th, 11:21 p.m. Pacific. Rotterdam doesn't remember a game of StarCraft.
I play a lot of the handicap matches for fun because I do find it cool. You know, when you do like a bunch of viewer matches.
I tried to cannon rush you. It didn't work.
Oh yeah, and I was like, why would you? Yeah, that made no sense at all. Okay, I do remember.
It's because the cannon would one-shot your workers if I got it up.
Yeah, but you have to get it up in the first place, Ravi, and we all know that that's not always easy.
I know. I don't always get it up, but you know, I do my best. Right?
All right, guys, let's talk about StarCraft as there's a Reaper on the way. So far, everything looks standard coming out of our Terran player. Obviously, there's no guarantee that it's going to stay standard. Neeb probably wondering what on earth happened in the first game. Probably looked at the build order history and he's like, oh, or rewind future, and he's like, 5 Rexes, cool.
We did have a gate nexus core and everything, so he's not too worried about some kind of one-base attack, especially with the probe scout coming across the map.
Second barracks in the back of the main base. Maybe a 2-1-1 opening this game. Just like going for the quick 16 stim Marines. I don't hate that build in this matchup. I know it's not the standard at all, but I think there are some games where Protoss players are quite lazy with their scouting, and if you can catch them off guard with like 16 Marines and stim, there is a chance that you can find yourself a handful of probes and a couple of gateway units and just take the game from there.
Yeah. You know, I would love if there were just like some really strange 2v2 builds that CrucialNug knows about that no one else in 1v1 knew about. He just starts busting out some of those aggressions.
Well, I think he needs an ally for that, right? It's like Reaper Ling is really good against Protoss. It's like, damn, how is he gonna get the Zerglings, Robbie?
Good question. Well, Stargate is now finishing on up, and we do have that factory on the way. Tech Lab also being added on to one of the barracks that is not too far away from the factory, so we might decide to swap that over, get up a tank.
No.
No?
Well, I'd be shocked, but I mean, why would you want to build tanks all the way?
Oh, sorry,
I
Cyclone.
think he's just gonna get Stim, no?
Yeah,
like
okay.
2-1-1. It would make perfect sense, and there we do have Stim on the way. I've never seen a Terran play. That would be some 2v2 meta, by the way. It's like, imagine if he starts building tanks where their factory is like behind his mineral line. It's like, who does this? No, I don't hate this opening, right? Like, you want to try something a little different. I understand you don't want to go for the casual, you know, Reaper fast expand Widowmine drop because Neeb is most likely going to shut that down and do a lot of damage. This is slightly different, but hey, maybe there's a chance he can find some, I don't know, damage with his first initial Marines. The Oracle will most likely scout it though. There's a Widowmine though. You know, for the sake of all of us, that Oracle needs to fly into the Widowmine.
Well, the Widowmine is in the mineral line. Looks like Neeb is actually getting pushed back by the Marine, so not even going to be able to set that off. Maybe you notice a little dip inside the terrain.
It's pretty obvious actually on Kairos. Some maps I think it's a little harder to spot. 3 Adepts are going to run into the natural as well. They're going to try to be as annoying as possible. This is not what CrucialNug wants, obviously, because he wants to get Stim out as quickly as possible. And, you know, you need to keep your Marine count high to really make it an intimidating opening. At this point, I don't think Neeb is very intimidated.
Yeah, 3 more Adepts being added on, as well as a third base, and he was still sitting on those 2 gas geysers. And this, ooh, even got the Oracle throwing a stasis trap over here for any potential move outs. So this is definitely going to keep CrucialNug at home for a while. There's a siege tank being added on.
Yeah, you can leave the tank behind as well, and then you can still maybe go for a drop. I'm a bit surprised it's a single medevac at this point. I don't think he would ever move out with this, right? Neeb is probably going to go for it with the Adept, shading forward. He's got 3 Oracles in the mix as well. The Widowmine connection is actually really good, but there is just not much else for Crucial.
Oh god, the Oracle damage added in means that there are no Marines left, and he just loads up the SCVs he can. Floats over to the main base, but this is already so much damage. Remember, this was not an all-in. This wasn't even committed from Neeb. He even gets the Adepts into the main base with the Shades, so maybe he could go further in and get some scouting. Okay, he's gonna let that finish. That might have been a mistake, but
yeah. Maybe Neeb is like, you know what, have 2 Adepts, sir. Like, I got like a bunch of your Marines, I got a bunch of SCVs.
Look, I don't want you to quit StarCraft after this series. I'll give you some wins here and there. No, this is a pretty tough spot right now for CrucialNug.
Yep, he's probably going to run into the Stasis here as well. It's only a single Marine, so that's nice at least. Almost got a Viking there. That would have been cool, but the worker count doesn't lie, guys. Neeb is up 22 workers, and there will always be a couple people in the chat that's like, well, that happens every PvT. No, it's not 20. It's not 22. Okay, well, at this point, it's, you know, slowly but steady, CrucialNug is catching up. Neeb has been building a lot of gates, but he's going to be able to warp in so many Zealots, and this was supposed to be a scary push with a lot of Marines. Right now, I find it a kind of sad-looking push. It's like, you know, I've got 5 Marines left and a tank. It just feels like, what are these units doing here, Ravi? Yeah,
Roddy, it's one of those feelings where you stem up your entire army and there's 1 medevac there, but it doesn't matter because your entire army was 6 Marines.
I mean, CrucialNug does have a tank seats up now. He's got a Viking in the mix. Obviously, Neeb is just warping in a lot of Zealots.
Traps. Those are really nice.
It's 8 gates, by the way. 8 gateways against 2 barracks at this point. So
just gonna warp in a big round of Zealots. And
yeah, he can just A-click. Like, love to make this sound tense, guys. And normally bunkers are scary, but Neeb's just got so many units. I think he's just waiting for charge. Charge is done. Here we go. And he is gonna wipe the floor with this Terran army.
Yeah, I think even just the charge lots alone could have pushed that back. The Stalkers are going to be able to take care of the SCVs building the bunkers. The Viking goes down. Medevac loads up with a handful of Marines and retreats home. But this is still a matter of 60 workers with 37. A third base versus 2 base. And 46 army supply versus 30.
Yeah, there is +1, but there is no bunk here. The tank on the high ground is going to provide some safety, but I'm actually afraid that the game could just end here, or at least a lot of SCVs are going to go down.
Yeah.
I mean, we said it, maybe just a bit of a mismatch. Neeb is so incredibly good, and I'm really curious to see how CrucialNug will do against his next opponent. The lower bracket is going to be either Silky or Vindicta, because I think there should be a little more potential there. Still the underdog, guys, but I think that's going to look a lot better. I mean, this is just Neeb being Neeb.
I mean, this is kind of, for the NA side of the broadcast, this is the equivalent of the Strange versus Cyril series, where it's like, hey, this is probably not going to happen. Maybe some magic happens, but ends up not being the case.
Yeah. Well, I think we're underselling Strange there a little bit. Strange is, you know, obviously CrucialNug is a good player, but I think he's not really used to this level of competition here in 1v1. Strange has already got a couple of very big victories in the past. Neeb is just the absolute star, the start of this scene, and we all expect him to win this group and probably win another season of Challenger, because it's either Neeb or Scarlet, right? Or Liberator is getting 5 probes. CrucialNug is fighting back, but the writing is on the wall for this one.
Yep.
He can say that he forced Neeb to make 2 shield batteries. Neeb was clearly worried. I take that. That's a little victory.
Moral victory right there. Yeah. Well, CrucialNug is going to fight it out. This is just the first match for NA, so he's still actually... He's going to actually find 2 sentries.
I do love his fighting spirit, by the way.
Yeah.
I think he knows as well that this game has been a little bit of a disaster. The Adepts and Oracles just did way too much and kind of ruined his entire strategy. And it's almost been over ever since, but I still love the fighting spirit. It's his first appearance in Challenger. And just go for it. Try to make a miracle happen. Try to pick off a couple workers. You never know. I mean, we see everything, so we kind of know, but hey, I like this a lot more than people that leave after they lose their first 5 Marines.
Yeah. I mean, it's also, you have to remember that CrucialNug does not have a lot of broadcast experience. He isn't really the guy that has played on a lot of big stages, so yeah, GG well played. Of course, he does tap out, but hey, he gets an extra few minutes of just getting used to playing under the pressure. And maybe we'll feel a little bit better about it going into the lower bracket match.
Yeah, like realistically, if you're CrucialNug, you don't go into this day and be like, you know what, I'm going to beat the crap out of Neeb, because that's most likely just not going to happen. Neeb is simply too good for this. As they often say, there are levels to this game, and Neeb is at pretty much the highest level there is out there. But like I said, the lower bracket match, I really look forward to seeing how he's going to do against either Vindicta or Silky. I think those 2 guys are favored against CrucialNug, but that's a lot more evenly matched, and that should really give us some good back and forth and hopefully some more insight of what CrucialNug is all about.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. But even that next match is actually going to be really exciting.
Yeah.
But Neeb, of course, going to be going to that winner bracket match, as he will be facing off versus the winner of Silky versus Vindicta. I'm really excited about that match, because not only is that I think probably going to be the main match that we're keeping an eye on for NA group today, but I know that Vindicta has been looking really good in TVZ lately. He's
TVP a little less.
TV. Yeah.
I'm kidding.
But I know he was telling me, like, this is the hardest I have ever prepared for WCS before. So he's really excited. Silky, on the other hand, while I think he would normally be a little bit favored, he started like working as an intern lately. So he has not really been had as much of a chance to actually play a lot. So this is going to be a little bit rougher for him. And I think it might really be a big opportunity for Vindicta to show what he's got and kind of break up.
I'm with you. I'm very, very pumped for it. I think Vindicta is a great guy. To show you guys the level of dedication he has as well, I think after his last appearance in Challenger, he made a tweet among the lines of like, man, I'm just disappointed in myself. I really could have done better. And he pinned this tweet on top of his Twitter. He's like, I'll be back way stronger next season of Challenger. Well, here we are. This is next season of Challenger. I know that he's fired up. I know that he's ready for it. I think it's going to be a very fun match, and there's a good chance that we're going to see this twice today. With all due respect, you know, Neeb is probably too good for these guys, and CrucialNug should normally not be able to cut it. So maybe this is going to be round 1 of the potential 2 rounds, but I'm very excited to see it. Like, normally you would say Silky, but I'm with you on the fact that Vindicta has been playing a lot lately and has been looking really good. It should be some really top quality NA StarCraft, and I think we'll have fun. All
right. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we'll see you in that next match. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the World Championship Series Challenger North America.